Okay, Shalom, Shalom, the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh, Bahasham, Shekadash. Double honors to the apostles. Peace, blessing, and honors to all the brothers in this truth. This is Revenge of the King. This is just the name that I came up with for this camp today. It's Revenge of the King. Because that's another major prophecy that has to happen. The Lord said he's going to come back for vengeance. The King is coming back to redeem and for vengeance, right? What gave me the inspiration for this camp to come out here today and for this camp title today, I was in the hospital. I had to take one of my sons to the hospital, and when we went, I ended up getting into a full-blown conversation with the not the nurse, but the registered nurse. You know, she the top dog. So she was asking, of course, why you didn't get vaccinated? Why won't you get the vaccine? And then she ended up going into saying the whole world pretty much is getting it. But she said she was a Christian because I asked her. She said, yes, she was a Christian. And I said, look, don't the scriptures tell you not to follow a multitude to do evil? Why, if the whole world is doing something and the Lord is coming back to destroy the whole world, that should be your main hit, not to follow what the world is doing because the world is wicked. You know, we went back and forth, you know, a whole bunch of excuses on her side. But at the end, you know, she kind of ended up admitting. She was like, well, yeah, we're in trouble. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Lord is coming back. Everything is by the way of the Lord. He's coming back to destroy. I said, the Lord is coming back to get his chosen. But the Lord is coming back for vengeance because the world is wicked. If the world was a righteous place and we need to follow what the world is doing, then there would be no need for the Lord to come back. And she had kind of admitted that, like, yeah, that's true. And we even got into why are you trying to escape the Lord's judgment? You should have more faith. Weren't you a Christian? Because if there's a pandemic in the world, then guess who did it? Even if it's by the way of man's hands, guess who did it? The Lord did it. You know, that's the Lord's judgment, you know, and then she ended up admitting that too, which that's very hard for a lot of people to admit that the Lord controls good and evil. You know, he controls everything. That's very hard for people to admit that. So that was kind of big for her that she was able to admit, like, I guess it all does go back to the Lord. And I told her, I said, look, if the Lord deems you to die from the pandemic that he sent on the earth, then that's a judgment. You can't escape that judgment. Getting the vaccine is not going to escape that judgment for you. He's just going to get you in a different way. Or he's going to take you out with the jab, you know. So we got into all that, and, you know, she started to see the light. I mean, even at the doctor's office, you know, sometime the light came on because she kept poking. She kept saying, no, I was like, nah, I'll see about it. I don't really want to talk about it. She kept poking and kept poking. So then eventually we had to just get into it. I said, okay, well, you want this? Well, then let's get into it, you know. So pretty much I try to quote some scriptures, but she was able to see the light by me just quoting the scriptures, you know, by just saying the scriptures without actually having to break it down because, you know, like we was in the hospital. But the major thing that I took away from that is, look, the Lord is coming back to redeem his people, but the Lord is coming back to get vengeance, and on his people too. He's coming back to get vengeance. She was a Moab woman, you know, she was a Moabite, and that's what people don't understand. Like, the Lord's not coming back to have good times. Like I said that, look, the Lord's not coming back to shake hands with Joe Biden and say, you did a good job, I'll take over from now. He's not coming back to shake hands with the premier of China, with Putin in Russia. He's not coming back to do that. The Lord is coming back to take vengeance, and a lot of people don't get that. Because a lot of people look at the standpoint as the Lord just going to come back and save everybody. But if you look at it from a standpoint of the Lord is coming back to take vengeance, then things become clear to you. Then you know, okay, I shouldn't be going with the world because this world is wicked and the Lord is going to come back and destroy it. Here, let me grab a precept real quick before I jump into this. If I could remember that precept. Second John. John, what's that? 1 John, this off the top of the head. I'll try to find this. 1 John chapter 2. It says 1 John chapter 2 verse 15. I've seen some more good precepts on the way too. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. So even if there's a jab that comes in the world, love not the world, be not of the world. Follow not the things of the world. It says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So you can't just go out there and follow the world. That's like showing that you just love the world, man. It says, for all that is in the world is lust of the flesh. To go get a jab, that's just lust of the flesh. You're just fear. You have low faith. So because of your fear, you want to please your flesh, and you want to like psychologically psych yourself out to thinking that you're good because you got a jab. But the Lord can take you out in a different way. It says the lust of eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father. It says, but is of the world. It says the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that does the will of God abide forever. So the world passes away. You can have, like right now, there's a whole bunch of different types of jabs out there. You can have 100,000 different types of jabs out there. If the Lord wants the world to pass away, the world is still going to pass away. But this is the key point. It says, but he that doeth the will of God abide forever. But following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, you're going to abide forever. You're going to get that victory over death. Just because you think you go down and get some potion put in you, don't mean that the Lord ain't going to get you. You know, the world passes away and the things in it. You know, here, let me jump back right here. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 6. It says, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. It says, but the heavens and the earth, which are now being the same word, are kept in store, reserved until fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So this day is reserved to fire, judgment, right? The Lord is going to get his judgment regardless, no matter if you get some potion. The Lord is going to get his revenge on you regardless, man. And you just got to live with that. It says, but beloved, this street is so long, man, but this is where everybody can see you. This street right here is where you can be that light. But I think I'm going to start just building behind because the street is so long because this is the busiest street. But it's inspirational. I had somebody come in my inbox the other day that I didn't even know that he was watching me, and he was telling me how inspirational it was just seeing me out here just teaching the truth. You know, he ended up doing a whole bunch of confessions to me. You know, he didn't have to, but he felt like he had to, so I lended him an ear. He ended up doing a whole bunch of confessions to me, and it was very motivational for me because he was telling me how much inspirational I was, how he was going to order a Bible, how he was going to look up some stuff. He wanted me to send him some stuff. That was very inspirational. Verse 8, it says, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. Meaning all the stuff that the wicked did, especially Esau, it's like they just did it yesterday to the Lord, or 2-3 days ago to the Lord. So the Lord still has that vengeance. He still remembers everything. He's coming back to get his vengeance, man. Verse 9. It says, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. It seemed that way to us because 1,000 days with us is one day to the Lord. It says, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but all should come to repentance. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, because people ain't going to be ready for it. People think that the Lord is coming back to hand out flowers and hugs, but they're not understanding the Lord is coming back for vengeance and to destroy. It says, the Lord will come back as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also. See, the heavens shall melt with fervent heat, but the earth also. So you can't escape judgment, man. Put some potion in you, not going to escape judgment. It says, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So it says the works therein should be burned up, right? So does that mean that the jab that's going around, when the Lord comes back, is the jab that's going around, is it still going to be around? Is the Lord going to say, keep the jab on the earth, keep people getting the jab? No, he's going to destroy it. So if the Lord is coming back to destroy it, why would you take something that the Lord is coming back to destroy it? I mean, it's just common sense, but that's the wicked. The wicked is Esau, and that's how they get down, man. This is Ezekiel Chapter 35. This is a great chapter. I already did a breakdown on this chapter before, so I'm just going to grab a precept out of it. But the whole chapter, you know, Son of Man prophesies against Mount Seir. You know, I'm going to jump to just verse 14. Ezekiel 35, verse 14, it says, "Thus saith the Lord God, when the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate." So the Lord is going to make Esau desolate. He's going to visit the Edomites and destroy them. He's going to visit America, which is Mystery Babylon in the Bible, and make this place desolate. All the cities, perpetual, right? It says, verse 15, "As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate." They took us into slavery and captivity. You know, Revelation 13 said those who kill by the sword must be killed by the sword. Those who lead into captivity must be led into captivity. So they have rejoiced when they took us into captivity. We're still under them to this day. It says, "So will I do unto thee, thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir," which goes back to the Edomites. It says, "And all Edomium," which is Greek for Edom, "even all of it, and they should know that I am the Lord." So Lord said he's going to take vengeance, man. What does that sound like? That sounds like the Lord taking vengeance. He said, look, you took Israel into captivity and to be an inheritance. So when the Lord comes back, he's going to take you into inheritance by the way of Israel, by the way of his people. That's vengeance. He said he's going to make them desolate. All of Idumea. Wait, did it say all? Here, let me see. It says in Mount Seir and all Idumea. That means nobody from Esau, nobody from Idumea today could be saved or make it. It says all Idumea, which goes right along with Obadiah chapter 1. Let's jump back. All, it says all Idumea. That's a beautiful precept. I'm gonna have to post that one, you know, because I post. It's just so long on the street. I post on different social medias, and you know, a lot of people don't want to, you know, they don't want to come to the light, especially on social media. They just want to joke around and have fun and stuff. But a lot of people be seeing it because a lot of people come on inbox, you know, and tell me how inspirational it is, and it's inspiring them to get into this truth too, or ask me questions about the truth, you know. And sometimes they just want to know the Lord's name, and I get them that. So that's why I still use those different outlets to post too. Me personally, you know. It's Isaiah chapter 34. I can get to it. It says, Isaiah chapter 34, it says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear and to hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury is upon all their armies. He has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them to the slaughter." So the Lord said he's coming back with a vengeance. He's coming back with a fury on all nations to destroy them. It's just that simple. Their armies, and to deliver them to the slaughter. The Lord didn't say he's coming back to save all these other nations. He said he's coming back to deliver them to the slaughter. He's coming back to take vengeance. It says their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink should come up out the carcass, and the mountain should be melted with blood. So this is the Lord that everybody say they so-called follow, right? The Lord said he's coming back to destroy. He's coming back to have dead carcasses that stink. Does that sound like the Lord is just coming back to play games for everybody? Does that sound like you should be following the world if the Lord is coming back to destroy the world? It says verse 4. Says all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. It says and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as the falling fig from the fig tree. My sword shall be bathed in heaven. So the Lord said he's going to have a sword bathed in heaven. What is the Lord bathing his sword in heaven for? It says, behold, it should come down upon Idumea, which is Greek for Edom, which is the so-called white man today. Not all white men, because we've been mixed And we've been scattered. The Israelites have been mixed and scattered amongst all people, so we come looking like all people. But the Edomites that go back to Edom by blood, the Lord said he has a sword in heaven that's going to come down upon Dunia by the way of the nuclear missiles. They go into heaven, they go into so-called space, they come back down supersonic missiles, and they hit their target. They're going to come down on Dunia. That's one of his curses. It says, upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood and is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lamb and goats, and with fatness of kidneys and rams. For the Lord has a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Dunia. Those are all sacrificial animals. So it's just showing you that America is going to be a great sacrifice when the Lord comes back and destroys it, and he drops those nuclear bombs and those different nuclear weapons. And he's going to send the chariots, which the world calls so-called UFOs, to destroy this place. America's mystery Babylon, and the Lord is going to destroy this place when he comes back. He's going to destroy all kingdoms when he comes back. And the wicked people are going to go into slavery and captivity. And he's coming back to save his righteous, the Israelites, by blood. It says, the true Israelites on the earth by blood, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Verse 7, it says, and the unicorn should come down with them, and the bullets with the bulls, and their land should be soaked with the blood, and their dust made fat with the fatness. He's going to take out Space Force, man. All the satellites in the space and stuff like that, all that stuff is going to come down out of the heavens. He's taking down everything on Esau. Revelations chapter 12 says, you know, he should be cast out the heavens. He should be destroyed, pretty much. Roughly paraphrasing it. It said, but this is the point, verse 8. It says, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance. The Lord, the King, is coming back for his vengeance. It says, in the year of recompense for the constant mercy of Zion. So it says, this is the day of the Lord's vengeance. Meaning the Lord is coming back to take vengeance if you didn't know. If you didn't know, the Lord is coming back to take his vengeance, man. And the Lord will have his vengeance because prophecy has to be fulfilled. This is Isaiah 64. This is a all-time great right here. This is a classic. Here, let me see what part do I want to go to. Isaiah 64, classic. Oh, I'm sorry. Isaiah 63. Salaki. Isaiah 63 verse 1, it says, who is that coming from Edom? Right? Where the Edomites are, Bozrah, which is known today as Mystery Babylon, the Golden City, America. It says the U.S., right? It says, with dyed garments from Bozrah. This that is glorious in his imperial traveling in the greatness of his strength, that I speak in righteousness, mighty to save. It says, wherefore are thy red and thy imperial and thy garments are like him that treadeth the winepress. Why? Because that symbolized all the death and the destruction that the Lord is going to put on the earth, especially with Edom. It's going to be a lot of bloodshed. Doesn't mean he's going to get blood on his garments. Literally, no. It's just symbolizing that he's coming back to destroy them, you know, make them desolate. Spill their blood in the streets by the way of missiles, war, famine. You know, it says, I have tried the winepress alone, and the people there was none with me. I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood should be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is to come. So the Lord is coming back for vengeance, and he's coming back to redeem his elect Israel, but the elect of Israel, and the Lord is coming back to take his vengeance. And the Lord will have his vengeance, you know. No man can stop the Lord from having his vengeance. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near. So it's the same thing we're prophesying. We're saying, look, we're coming out here saying that the day of the Lord is near, it's coming. The Lord is coming to take vengeance on the earth. He's coming to destroy America, China, Russia, any kingdom on earth, right? It says, and hasten greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man should cry there bitterly. The day is a day of wrath, and a day of trouble and distress. It's just so busy, man, with trucks and stuff. So it says the great day of the Lord is near, and hasten greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. And we're all the voice of the day of the Lord, because we're coming out here, we're the ones voicing that the day of the Lord is near. One of the big prophecies that you know that the Lord is about to return is when you see the prophets. Every time before the Lord returns and destroy a nation, a kingdom, he sends his prophets out, his true prophets, the ones that you don't look for to be the prophets, you know, his true Israelites. He sent them out to prophesy of the destruction that he's about to do. Just like in war, they give you a warning. Before they nuke a city, they give a warning to all the inhabitants of the city to clear out before they take them out. They got that from the Lord. So it's the same thing. Before the Lord comes to destroy, he gives the people a warning. Just like he did in Egypt, he gave Pharaoh many warnings, you know, and finally he destroyed them. Before he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, he sent the two angels to give the warning, and then he destroyed them. Right? So same thing with all the different kingdoms. You know, it was always a prophet like Daniel prophesying, telling them of the destruction that was going to come. Jeremiah, Isaiah prophesying to the kings of Israel, telling them that, look, the Babylonian captivity is going to come. They're about to be destroyed. Ezekiel, right in the Babylonian captivity, prophesying to them in the Babylonian captivity. You know, then you had Daniel, and even the minor prophets. You had Jonah prophesying to the, what was that? I think to the city Nineveh. You had a lot of different prophets prophesying to the city Nineveh. You had Tobit and his son Tobias, prophets prophesying, you know, all that, man. You had Ezra prophesying after after the Babylonian captivity, during the time of Darius the Persian and the Medes, when they went back to rebuild the temple, the house of the Lord. So I mean, you have pretty much, I'm just going off the top of my head right now, but pretty much before any nation was destroyed, the point is that the Lord always sends his prophets back to prophesy before he destroyed those places. That's the point, you know. Just going off the top of the head, if I butcher some of that, you know. But this is Zephaniah chapter 1, back into Zephaniah chapter 1. And before the Lord saved his people, he always sends prophets back to tell his people he's about to save them. Just like with the time of Joshua, back to the time of Egypt. You know, even with right now. So the Lord doing the same thing right now. He's sending his prophets out to do what? To warn the nations of the vengeance that the Lord is about to take on them, the judgment and the destruction, and to warn his people that the Lord is coming back to save them if they follow him, you know. This is verse 15. It says, the day is the day of wrath. So the Lord ain't coming back to play games. It's a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So if the Lord is coming back to destroy all these places, why would you follow the world? If the world tells you you should get a jab, why would you do that and follow what everybody else is doing if the Lord is coming back to destroy the majority of the world? So no, we're not going to follow the world because we understand that the world is wicked. That's the reason why the Lord has to return, to take his vengeance. It says, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fifth city and against high towers. Because we're all hell, like, I mean, even if you think of literally, when all hell break loose, literally, what do? They're going to send those alarms out. You're going to hear those warnings and those alarms, you know, pretty much giving the people a last warning, letting the people know a nuclear missile is about to destroy America. Or there's another pandemic, or all hell break loose, martial law or something like that. You know, so the Lord is going to come back and destroy this place, man, for what they did to our people, the true Israelites, the Native Americans, Negroes, and Hispanics.